Hey guys, Jessica with Tapestry here, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are making another 3D tumbler. This time we are making a donut tumbler with a donut hole topper. Okay, all of the supplies that I use will be linked in the description bar. Okay, so I went and got some foil from the Dollar Tree, and I am just making these foil rings, and I'm basically just wrapping them around this tumbler, trying to figure out if I want my donuts to be kind of thin or if I kind of want them thick. Okay, so if you want them thicker, get two pieces of foil, scrunch it up just like I'm doing, folding and then scrunching it, and then wrap it around the tumbler to get your desired thickness. Okay, so I am using a 16-ounce tumbler from the Steel Magnolia Company, and I am going to make about 5 of these donut rings on here. Okay, I decided to leave the bottom of the tumbler open and the rim of the tumbler. Okay, you'll see later on that I do that. But it's pretty self-explanatory from this point on because all I'm doing, like I said before, is just adding these foil rings to the tumbler. Okay, I am going to secure it with some hot glue, and then I am going to start adding my clay. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up this part and come back when it's done. Okay, so one thing I did not mention, you do want to secure your bottom ring with hot glue. Honestly, if you wanted to, you could secure all of the rings, but definitely the bottom one, okay? And what you're going to be doing after that is kind of trying to make sure your foil is as smooth as possible. So as I scrunched up the other rings of foil, this time I just folded it because I wanted to get it as smooth as possible before I started adding my clay. Okay, the smoother your foil is before you add your clay, the smoother your clay application will be. Okay, so next I'm just taking some masking tape and I'm going to add it to this foil ring. Like I said before, this masking tape is going to help to smooth out this foil so that when it's time to add our clay, we don't have to work as hard. Okay, so just continue to repeat that process. Foil ring, hot glue, and masking tape. This is definitely a trust the process type of tumbler. As you can see, things are looking a little wonky here, but trust the process. Everything you do is going to give you your desired effect. So be patient, okay, and take your time. And again, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section, and I'll try my best to get back to you. Okay, so right now it's looking okay, but I want to make sure that the rings are separated. So I'm going to take my scissors and kind of manipulate this foil and what's that? Masking tape and kind of press down to kind of separate each one of these rings, so that way I have a clear defined donut per se. Okay, so you just want to continue to do that. Press down inside of each ring and make sure that each one is separated. Next, you're going to go ahead and get your clay. I am choosing to use Premier Clay. It's an air dry clay. Okay, it can be found at Michael's. It will be linked in the description bar as well. But I'm just applying this clay all around this tumbler, and I am going to smooth it with some water. Okay, air dry clay you can smooth with water. You could use a sponge if you like, or you can use your finger. Now, if you choose to use polymer clay or oven baked clay, you can go ahead and do that as well. You would need some alcohol if you're trying to smooth that out, okay? But you're just going to repeat this process, and you're going to make sure you cover up all of your masking tape, all right? And then, like we did with the scissors, we want to make sure that we are still having a defined donut, meaning in between each donut needs to be minimal clay, okay? I'm going to go ahead and speed up this process, and I will come back when it's done. Okay, so before I forget, anywhere your masking tape and foil was still a little bit bumpy or lumpy, go ahead and take your clay and add a little bit more to that part so you can smooth it out. This is the time to get your donut shape the way you want it to be. Okay, so take your time, and again, be patient with yourself. Don't rush this process, because the more time you take with this process, the better your donut tumbler will look in the end. Okay, so once your air dry clay is dry, you want to go ahead and get whatever you're going to use to color it. I chose to use alcohol ink. The color is caramel and butterscotch. If you've checked out my pancake tutorial, you will see that I love using these colors. To me, it gives a really good, authentic look to pancakes or funnel cakes or donuts, anything doughy. Okay, so I am just applying this with a little sponge dabber, and I'm gonna do this all over all 5 of my donuts, and then I am gonna get ready for the next step. Okay, so these donuts look a lot smoother than they did in the last clip, right? That is because I went ahead and took a little bit more of the air dry clay and I kind of added it to the donuts once the alcohol ink had dried. I wanted to make sure my donuts looked round, not so lumpy and bumpy, okay? And it was a lot easier to add that clay on there and kind of see where I needed more clay at with the color, okay? So now I am taking some three-dimensional paint and I am adding it in between the donuts, okay? Each one, I'm taking some of this paint and I'm just kind of going around where the brown, the dark brown part of the donuts are. I'm just going around and around. This paint is perfect for controlling your drips, okay? And you can find this pretty much at any craft store or even Walmart, Target. Pretty much every craft aisle will have some type of three-dimensional paint. Okay, so you have some options here. If you would like for your drips to kind of run together, then you can go ahead and add your paint in between each donut and then tap your tumbler on your table, okay? And that will kind of help the paint to run in between each other. But if you would like for your paint to kind of stay where it's at, then do not tap your tumbler on the table at all. Okay, gravity is going to allow this paint to kind of fall on its own. All right, and if you want the separation between each color of your drip, then just don't tap. Let gravity do its thing. I absolutely love how this is coming out, guys. This looks so great so far. Um, I went ahead and added some sprinkles, some fake clay sprinkles to my drips, okay, for a more realistic look. And now we're gonna go ahead and get ready for the topper. Okay, so this brand of three-dimensional paint took about 4 hours to dry, okay? And while it was drying, I went ahead and worked on my topper, which I decided to do donut holes using Model Magic, okay? And it is a great clay. It's an air dry clay. It's very easy to manipulate, and all I'm doing is rolling it into a ball. I'm gonna take the end of my paintbrush and I'm just gonna poke a hole, not all the way through, but kind of halfway through the center of the ball. All right, and then I'm gonna take that same brush, the end of that brush, and kind of make an indentation along the sides of the donut hole. Okay, so just like before, we're taking the caramel and butterscotch alcohol ink, and we are going to apply it to this air dry clay. Okay, so do not worry if you do not like the coloration, because right now they kind of look very pale. But don't worry about that, guys. Just keep adding your alcohol ink to your donut holes, okay? And then you are going to take a little bit of hot glue to fill in that hole. Once you fill it in with the hot glue, you're going to add your three-dimensional paint. All right. Once your paint is dry, you're going to seal it all in. Okay. I did not film sealing this in with epoxy. If you're interested in seeing how I did that, go check out my pancake tutorial, my pancake topper tutorial. Okay. And then once your donut holes are all sealed in front and back, you are going to add them to your lid. And for the final step, all I did was add some hot glue to the bottom of the donut holes and I added it to my topper. Okay, you could seal this all in again with some FDA compliant epoxy if you like. Okay, but that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this donut tumbler and donut hole topper. As always, if you have any questions about anything that was shown today, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section. And I invite you to join my Patreon group. We're having a lot of fun making a lot of goodies. Okay, it's only $10 a month. You can find the link in the description bar. And I will talk to you guys later.